And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Winestream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick, and tonight, well, as I said last week, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. We're going to try something a little bit different, and that's what we're doing tonight. And what we have here is a white wine. Now, as many of you know, I don't often have white wines. I mostly review reds. But tonight we are going to try a white wine and see how it fares. I like the price. We'll see if the wine is any good or not. Also, I have some foods prepared by my lovely wife, Chi, to pair with the wine. We're going to pair it here in just a little bit as soon as I open the wine and try it out. And we're going to tell some dad jokes. And, of course, we have the national days to toast. We have a few national days. So jump in the chats wherever you can live and join me. And let's just have a great show tonight. This is going to be, I think, kind of a light show. A light show. It's going to be a short show because I'm preparing for next week's show. Next week's show is the big premiere of Space Apes from Ice Planet Alpha on this show, and I hope you'll join me for that. So I'm trying to keep it kind of light tonight, so I can save all of the big stuff for next Saturday night. But please get in the chats and join in. If you are joining me for the first time or the 226th time, because this is the 226th episode of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. This is, of course, a stream of consciousness kind of show. Now, I do my show notes. I have them prepared already. I've been doing my show prep tonight, as I always do, but I don't follow them verbatim. We get off the beaten path quite a bit here because the show's not about me. I'm just here to entertain you, to offer some comic relief, and just so you can watch and just have a good time if you want. But the show is somewhat about the wine, a little bit. We review the wine, we pair it with some food, and we sit back and just try it out, see how it pairs and how it fares. The show is really not about the wine and the drinking so much as it is about you and me getting together on a Saturday night, kicking back, relaxing, forgetting about the worries of the week, the worries of the day, with our favorite libations, our favorite snacks, whatever they are, just sitting back and just having a good time. That's all. Just relating to each other, getting together with old friends, meeting new friends, and just having a great time. That's what this show is about. Now, if you want to get into the chats and join in the chats live, you can get onto the chats. We're live on our Facebook page is facebook.com/drinkwithrick. YouTube is youtube.com/drinkwithrick. Twitch is twitch.tv/drinkwithrick and the number 1, all one word. And Odyssey is odyssey.com/drinkwithrick. and the number 7. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, and you can watch live on Twitter if you'd like. Now, we're not actually streaming live on Twitter directly, but you can click on the Twitter post that I just posted a few moments ago, and you can go to YouTube and watch it there and join in the chats there. Now, of course, if you can't watch now or you can't watch later, you can listen to the podcast. The podcast is available on all these venues here live. The podcast goes out. It's not live. It's a podcast. The podcast goes out at 10 p.m. on Monday nights. Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Blueberry.com, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, podcastindex.org. Tune in. Deezer Radio. I don't want to forget about Deezer down there. And, of course, you can pick it up on an RSS feed. Yes, it is distributed via RSS. It sounds old-fashioned, but it's tried and true, and that's really the way podcasts were originally distributed, and that's kind of how they were meant to be done, to be distributed. And, of course, by email, if you can't listen now, you can't watch now or watch later, or you can listen anytime by clicking on this little button that says by email. If you do that, you will go to this little screen where it says Drink with Rick, enter email, enter your email in the little box there, click the blue subscribe button, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops, and no salesman will call. It's just for the podcast. Also, if you want, you can buy me a coffee or 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever you want to do. It helps to support the show. Now, there's no obligation to do that. I'm not begging for money. Really, I could use it, but I'm not begging for it. If you want to, you can, to support the show, you can buy me a coffee or a few. And those proceeds go primarily to support the prizes that we give away on the show from time to time. So please, I want to give away a lot of prizes this holiday season, so that goes towards the prizes, and please feel free to give if you want to. There's no obligation. You don't have to do it. It's fine if you don't. And by the way, if you don't have the money, please don't do it because you need it more than I do. Okay, you really do. We all. I know, times are tough, aren't they? Now, you can also support the show. If you can't afford to, you can support the show by liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell and all that kind of stuff, the notification buttons, and doing all those things on all those venues on YouTube and Odyssey and wherever else you're watching, Twitch and whatever. You can follow along and subscribe and all those good things if you want to. That's much, much appreciated. It really, really does help support the show. More than you know. Really, it does. But there's no obligation, once again, to do that. And also, if you want to contact me for any reason, you can contact me at rick@savoyamedia.com. rick@savoyamedia.com, right down there. All right, so with all of that out of the way, let's get to the show. We have a pretty interesting show, as I mentioned before. It's going to be interesting because I don't know how I'm going to react to this wine. I really don't. And we're going to give it a fair and an honest review. And let me show you this wine. Before we get any farther, let me show you the wine. This is a Pinot Grigio. It's called Villa Sonia Pinot Grigio, Venezia. This is a 2022 vintage. And this is a wine from Italy. It's a Pinot Gris, also known as a Pinot Gris, from Italy. And this wine, let me show you the back of it. I'm going to read the back of it here in just a moment. It says Villa Sonia Pinot Grigio, Venezia, white wine, as if we didn't know. The Villa Sonia Pinot Grigio is produced in the province of Venice. It is refreshing and crisp with elegant floral and fruit aromas. That's basically all it says there. It is a product of Italy. The agent's Villa Sonia Duarte, California 91010 is I guess the distributor here. And the website is www.daquino.com. And there is 12% alcohol, 12% ABV in this 750 milliliter bottle of wine. So that's what we have going on here. And if it seems like I'm a little bit tired, a little off, it's because I am really tired. It's been a really interesting week. So I'm looking forward to opening up a nice bottle of wine. And hopefully this is a nice bottle of wine. I'll tell you a little bit more about this in just a few moments as soon as I get it open. I also want to show you what my lovely wife she has prepared tonight. It's very simple. We're trying to keep the show simple tonight, so to pair it with the one, we have a few cheeses there, and right there is a little homemade pizza that my lovely wife she prepared just for the show. Yes, it's amazing, but for the first time, pretty much, the food is not leftovers. Usually we're serving leftovers. We could have, but the meal that we had for dinner tonight is not really a white wine kind of meal. So we had barbecue. I don't think this is really the right match for this wine. So we're going to. So my wife prepared this pizza to go with it, and it's for a specific national day, which I'll get to in just a little bit. All right, so let's get to opening this bottle of wine. Let me check the chats just briefly and make sure we're good on the chats. And please feel free to jump in the chats. We have folks watching. Please jump in and say hi. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me what you're drinking or what you'd like to be drinking or what you'd like to see me drinking. And if I can afford a bottle of it, I'll see if I can find one and I purchase it and drink it too, if I can afford it. It's been kind of tough lately here, and it's getting tougher all the time. All right, so let me just refresh this just a minute. There we go. I'm just making sure I've got the latest. Web page up there, and everything's running fine on the website. Yeah, you can watch live at drinkwithrick.com. I did forget to mention that. You can watch the show live at drinkwithrick.com. I'll show you what's going on here on the web page. Let me go back there. I didn't show you that, did I? Yeah, you can watch live right now. We're live right now at drinkwithrick.com. Now, I don't have a chat going on there, but if you scroll down, if you click on the title for tonight's episode, and you scroll down, you'll see a chat box, and you can add your comments in there. And not chat box, excuse me, it's a comment box. And you can drop your comment in there, and I will respond in kind. So that's what that's all about. All right, so let's get to opening this bottle of wine. Let me get my foil cutter. You know, I haven't used my foil cutter in a week or two because the last bottle, in fact, I think the last couple of bottles had twist caps on them. So I've got down here in my mechanical corkscrew ready to go, and this is a fun contraption. It's always fun to open with. Ooh, pieces of it are falling off. That's how much I've used this thing. All right, so hopefully it still works without any trouble. All right, and it does. So now we have uncorked, or as I prefer to say, we've decorked the wine. I better save this piece here somewhere so I don't lose it for later. And let's get to there we go, so you can see the whole bottle. And of course, I have my aerator, my trusty aerator here to put in the bottle. It looks like it's fairly full. Hopefully there's not a lot of displacement there. Nope, looks like we're good. Not like last week. Last week it was pretty full and it almost went over, but it didn't. There we go. And to hold the grape nectar, I have my genuine Galway Irish crystal glass, given to me by my employers at bytwowayradios.com. And to hold the glass of grape nectar, I have my official Drink with Rick coaster, which we'll set up on top there. None the worse for wear. It's getting worse for wear every week. All right, now let's go ahead and pour some of this wine into the glass. Just a little bit. Well, a little bit more. There we go. Set that aside. And let's see what we're going to do now. Oh, we're going to swirl the wine. That's right. I don't want to forget the swirl. So let's swirl the wine. And while we're doing so, let's have some wine swirling music. How about more cowbell? More cowbell. All right. I think we've given it a pretty good swirl. I can smell some aromas coming from this wine right now. And that's one reason why we swirl the wine, so we can get it oxygenated, and also because it's fun. I think so anyway. All right, so that's the wine. The swirling is done. We're gonna let it open up just a little bit. Give it a few moments to get the air in there and get the aromas up into the air. And while it's doing that, let's learn a little bit more about this wine. Now I'm going to check the chats here first. Let's go. Okay, we're good in the chats. Kind of quiet tonight in the chats. And where is it? Where is Sid? Where is Sid is in the chat. Okay, great to see you. Good to see you. Where's Sid? And where is Sid, by the way? And where Sid says nice. And yeah, I think so. So far, it smells nice. We're going to try it in just a few moments and see if it really is nice. And let's find out a little bit more about this wine before we take our first taste. Now, I did some research on the wine, a little bit. Very interesting. There was a lot on the web about it, and I didn't go through everything, but there are quite a few reviews, and some people seem to like the wine. I went to the Vivino, and they gave it a 3.7 star rating out of 5 stars out of 80 ratings. It doesn't seem like a lot. This is for the 2022 vintage. And they gave it a median price of about $6 for across the vintages, which I thought was, okay. That sounds about right for what I paid for. I'll tell you what I paid for in just a moment. But when I went to Wine Searcher, I checked Wine Searcher, and they have it listed for this 2022 vintage, presumably. They didn't really specify the vintage, but they were giving an average price of $13 a bottle and a 3.5 star rating out of 6 user ratings. I'm looking at from winesearcher.com. And it seems that New York, Bottle Bargains in New York has it for $8 a bottle. This is all excluding sales tax, by the way. Bottles and bottles and cases in New York has it for $8 a bottle. And Atos Bev Store in Florida, not sure where in Florida, has it for $12.99 a bottle, which I thought was interesting. I had $13 a bottle. It seemed a bit much. It's not what I paid for it, because I have the receipt right here. What I paid for this 750 milliliter bottle, and I'll tell you where I got it from. I got it from Trader Joe's. Saw it in Trader Joe's. So walking around Trader Joe's, and I wasn't actually planning to buy any wine during that trip. I was just going there for some other things. One of those things was these pumpkin waffles. I've really become addicted to these pumpkin waffles. Yeah, it's sort of like the Trader Joe's chips, the ones, the ghost pepper chips that I'm not supposed to be eating now. I told my doctor I would cut down on those, but that's difficult to do that. Those things are addictive. But I went to Trader Joe's, and I saw it there, and I thought to myself, well, I saw the price, and I thought to myself, okay, I've got to try this out and review it on the show. So this is what I paid. I paid for the 750 milliliter bottle of Villa Sonia Pinot Grigio, $5.99. It says so right there, $5.99. And so $6 is basically the median price that they were saying on Vivino, $5.99. And it is available at Trader Joe's. I believe it's also available at Total Wine and a number of other places. So we'll give it a taste now. Let me check the chats one more time. And we're good there. Let's see. Where is Sid? Says check on Vivino. Yes, it is on Vivino, and on Vivino, pretty interesting. Vivino's reviews. I skimmed through a few of the reviews, and people did seem to like it quite a bit. So I have a good feeling about this wine. I do. But let's give it a little bit of a taste now. They were saying a lot of fruit, some citrus in the wine. I'm not sure yet. I did smell a couple of fruity. Let me see. Yeah, it's subsided. When I first did the swirl, I was getting a lot of fruit coming up. Not really citrus. Now it's kind of quieted down. But I do smell a little bit of apple in here. Give it a taste. There are a few things going on in this wine. First of all, this is a fairly it's a dry wine, and it's very very light bodied. This is a very light bodied wine. Even I think for a Pinot Grigio, it's a little bit light bodied. But it's not as and I thought it might be a little bit on the sweet side on the tongue, but it's not at all. It's very dry, which is fine with me because I prefer dry. But I will say that it's and no, there are no tannins in wine because the white wines generally don't have that. That's a lot of the tannin generally comes from the skins. Well, you know, the red wines and the skins of the grape. This is so that you're not going to find that in a white wine in general anyway. But this is yeah, there is a little bit of apple there. Ooh. And I'm tasting a little bit of honey too. There is a slight hint of citrus. Tastes a little bit of citrus. Tastes a little citrusy, and I'm tasting some grapefruit. Kind of. Here comes citrus. Now, let me check on Vivino here again. Okay, now what they're saying on Vivino is they're tasting a lot of different things like pear and green apple and lemon and there's some mentions of honey in here. I'm tasting a little hint of honey, and I'm getting grapefruit, and apple, but I don't taste any pear. Ooh. No, I'm not really tasting pear, and I like pear, but I am getting some apple, and yeah, the grapefruit has subsided just a little bit. Let's see. Ooh. Grapefruit's there, but in the honey, a little bit of honey, which is pretty neat. Kind of tasting a little bit of the honey there, but this is a very very light tasting wine, light bodied, not a long. It's not a super long finish, but it's a very nice one. It's a nice kind of a medium finish to it, and I like it. This is a very easy drinking wine. And I think this is a wine without pairing with any foods. And this is probably one that you probably want to serve with things like fish and maybe some chicken. But I don't, what do they say? I think this would go good with some salads. A really nice, I think it would go good with a nice Caesar salad. But fish. I could do this with some fish. And a little bit of chicken. I think there is a little bit of chicken on this plate, so this might go okay with that. Although that chicken, I don't know. It's kind of a pulled chicken. I don't know about that, but we'll try it. We'll try it. But I think it would go nice with a salad. This is a wine I would say, yeah, you could take it to a party, and it's very, very easy drinking, and even without any food, it's something you could just drink on its own. Yeah, you really could. And so far, I'm liking it. I'm kind of surprised, but I like it. Where Sid says, if you had to choose one wine without pairing with any food, which one would it be? Wow. Well, there are a lot. I mean, I've tried a lot of wines, and we've tried a lot on the show here before. But there are certain wines that I think that I like that I would pair, without pairing with any food. There is the, let's see, I think there's one we did a few weeks back. It was last month. Let me see if I can pull up an image of it here. I think I've got an image of it. I think I still have it on the system. The Rosetta. This is a nice wine. I think this is one that I reviewed some weeks back that I still have it in the system here, that I really enjoyed, and it was a very easy drinking wine. It went well with some of the cheeses that we have, but it went very well on its own. This was another wine that you can pick up at Trader Joe's, and it's also rather. I think this was $7 a bottle. I think it was $7 a bottle. I don't recall exactly how much it was, but it was pretty reasonable. And I liked it. And when the week after I reviewed that wine, the Rosetta, I went back to Trader Joe's to look for it, and they were out. I mean, they were just sold out. And I said, "Well, are you going to get any more in anytime soon?" And they said, "Well, they weren't really sure." But then my wife went back there about 3 weeks later, 2 or 3 weeks later, and she called me on the phone. She says, "Hey, I found the Rosetta wine. I found a couple bottles of it. Would you like some more?" And I said, "Sure." And so she brought home a couple of bottles, and I've got what's left of one in the fridge and little fridge downstairs. It's actually pretty good wine. I like it. So the Rosetta I think is a good wine. There are a couple of them I think are good. That to answer your question, Sid, where's Sid? By the way, where is Sid? I think I've got those instant. Okay, without pairing with food. Let me see. The Rose and Finch. The Rose and Fitch was pretty good. I think I could do that without pairing it with food. There are a few of them. Seven Sicilians is another one. I don't think I have the Seven Sicilians in here anymore. We reviewed that in the past. That's pretty good. The Edmundo wine is another wine. I don't think I've got that one in here. I'm just looking around. I don't. Oh, there it is. Here's the it's called Edmundo wine. That's this is one that I thought was pretty decent, that you could kind of drink on its own. There are a few of them, a number of them out there, and some of them are actually back here behind me. And by the way, that's not a green screen. I mean, well, it's a blue screen up there, but this is not a green. This is an actual set, and these are all actual bottles of wine that we've had on the show. In the past. Let me see what else we got here. The Pinotage, that's a good one that I'd say would be good if you like a Pinotage. Some people, it's a kind of an acquired taste, but that can be a good one for just drinking on its own. There are a number of them back here, I think, that the Hestos, that's a Malbec. There are two different kinds of Malbecs in that Hestos. That is a good one. I don't think I have that one up here anymore either, do I? I take some of these down after a while. But that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked that question. I've had a number of people ask me that question before. Well, actually, usually people will ask me, well, what would you recommend to pair with this, or what would you recommend to pair with that? And the thing is that there are a lot of times when you just want to take a wine, just to drink on its own. You're not really trying to pair it with any food at all. And that's a really good question. Sometimes you just don't need it to pair with anything. But some wines you really need to drink them with food. Now there was the wine that we did last week, the CK Mondavi. It was not. I didn't really care that much for this wine, in general, on its own. And I said that it would taste better if you had it with something to eat. But on its own, I didn't really like drinking it on its own. So that, once again, that's a good question. So there are some wines that were just not meant to be had on their own, in my opinion. Now, once again, I am not a sommelier. I am an everyman, just like 99.999% of everybody else out there who likes specific wines. I know what I like, and I know what I don't like, and that's the way most of us drink wine. I'm not one of these wine snobs, that walk around with a glass like this and with the pinky in the air like this. It's not me. That's not the way I want to drink wine. I want to enjoy my wine. I don't want to spend my eternity trying to pick them all apart, if you know what I mean, with my palate. I'm doing this for fun. And let's see what else we have going on the chats here. All right, let's go ahead and pair it with some foods and see how it works. And I've got camera 3 up. Let's try it with a couple of cheeses. No, you know what? Let me try it with the chicken first. This is a chicken we got from a local barbecue place. We tried for the first time this evening. It's called City Barbecue in Charlotte, and we thought it was pretty interesting. We thought the I don't mean to do a restaurant review, but we thought that the beef brisket, we got the beef brisket, and we tried to get the turkey, but they ran out of turkey, so we had the pulled chicken. The beef brisket, we both thought was a little on the dry side, really kind of dry. But the chicken, I thought was pretty interesting, and I thought, it might be okay with this wine. So we're going to try it. This is it's not bad. The chicken's actually pretty good. Pulled chicken. And it's actually a little more on the sweet side. So it might be all right. Oh, wow. Okay. That is interesting. Actually, it works fairly well. I would have this with the wine, the pulled chicken. That's all right. The thing is, chicken is chicken is a white meat with this white Pinot Gris is generally a good pairing anyway. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Let me clear the palate a little bit. Clear the palate. Let's go back to camera 3. Let's try it with some cheeses. Now these are some light cheeses. Let me see what I have here. Okay, this is, I believe, what am I looking at here, Chi? You're in the chats right now. What am I looking at? This looks like the double cream Gouda. Trader Joe's double cream Gouda is what we have here. Well, try it with that. Okay, that's all right. It's okay. That will not be my first choice of a cheese. Maybe something like a brie might be better for this. Let me clear the palate once again. Softer cheese, maybe. Let's go back to camera 3 and try it with. Okay, now this one, maybe. I don't know. This is the unexpected cheddar with parm, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Unexpected cheddar with parm, no, because it has Parmesan in it. This is really more of a red wine kind of cheese. We'll give it a try. Actually, that works because it's a white cheddar. And with a little bit of the Parmesan, it's okay. Now, once again, probably not my first choice, but it's not bad. It's okay. I would do that. It would be all right. However, once again, I think this works better with a salad. Now, a salad with maybe a Caesar salad with maybe some Parmesan sprinkled on it, this might be okay. It's probably be just fine. I'm pointing at the wine. The bottle's over here. It's way off to the side. It needs to be closer to this glass. Just my opinion. I just don't want it to be too close because I don't want to wind up knocking it off the desk. All right. Well, I'm liking the wine. It's pretty good. I think it would go good with fish. Now, I'm not a shellfish person, but I try not to be a shellfish person. It's just not my way. But Anyway, we've got some dad jokes coming. By the way, put your best and worst dad jokes in the chat. We're gonna do some dad jokes. We're gonna tell dad jokes tonight. That'll be fun. Let's go ahead and do the national days though, because it's already getting to what is it? Oh, we're almost to midnight here. Well, not quite. Got an hour and 20 minutes to go. Hour and 19 minutes. So let's go ahead and do the dad jokes. Once again, if it seems like I'm a little bit discombobulated on this one tonight, it's because that I've had quite a week this week. It's been very, very interesting. And let me just say that I'm glad the week is over and we're enjoying the weekend, but I've got a big week coming up ahead, and once again, and by the way, where's Sid? If you like films, if you like movies, I had a previous life as a filmmaker, and I'm going to show next week on this show the premiere of Space Apes from Ice Planet Alpha. This is the premiere of a film originally shot in Super 8, Space Apes from Ice Planet Alpha. I hope you'll join me for that. I really haven't picked out the wine yet for it. I want to pair a really nice wine to go with the premiere of this film. And so we're looking forward. I've got to find something that's going to fit really well with it. And hopefully I'll have it ready. I have the wine ready in time for the show Saturday night. So it's going to be a big, big show. Maybe we'll give away a couple of things as well. All right, so where was I? Oh, yes, national days. Let's toast some national days. Everybody ready with a glass? By the way, what if anything are you drinking out there? It's fine. No matter, you can drink anything. It doesn't have to be wine. It can be beer. It can be soda. It can be coffee, tea, water, whatever you want to drink, as long as you're legal to drink it. It's just fine. But we've done a lot of that sort of thing on the show in the past. We reviewed a coffee last week. A week before that, we reviewed a porter, I believe. We've done a couple of beers. We've reviewed a number of different types of drinks. I've made some drinks on the show in the past, and with the holidays coming up, we're probably going to do a few more. I just bought a fresh bottle of cream de menthe, the Kuiper's cream de menthe, which I used to make that was the leprechaun beer that we did some time back, and I'm planning to do a couple of other little cocktails with it live on the show and show you how they're made, and we'll try those out as well. So looking forward to the holidays, and I hope you'll join me for that. And where Sid says sounds interesting, I would recommend a good Chardonnay. Chardonnay. Yeah, I'll tell you what, let me write that down. A Chardonnay to go with Space Apes, huh? Okay. I know a few good Chardonnays we could try. That might work. That's kind of a more of a buttery kind of wine, and we could maybe we could try that. I'll have to look around and see what we've got for a Chardonnay that we might be able to pair with the movie next week. Okay, so national days. That's why I have the national day thing back behind me here. All right, let's toast the national days. Everybody has something to drink. Let's drink along together and toast the national days. Well, today, November 11th, 2023. And by the way, all these national days are courtesy of nationaldaycalendar.com. National Day Calendar is Marlo Anderson's site. He is the CEO and curator of all these national days. Nationaldaycalendar.com. By the way, I'm not shilling for him. It's not a paid promotion or anything. I just like to toast national days, and I know Marlo, and he's a pretty good guy, and he's done a lot of work with all this, and it's just a lot of fun doing this. It is. November 11th today, 2023 is National Sunday Day. Yes, it is National Sunday Day. All day, whatever's left of today. It is National Sunday Day. Yes, and I can see everyone in the audience is excited, really, really excited about that. National Sunday Day, November 11th. I'll drink to that. Now that does, Ed's not in the chat right now, my good friend Ed, but he and I used to work together at Walt Disney World back in the day when we were much younger. And that's one of the things we did was we made sundaes. We worked in Walt Disney World, in what was at the time called the Walt Disney World Village, and there was a restaurant there called the Veranda Restaurant Pavilion, and it was kind of in three parts. There was the Veranda Restaurant was in the center of it, and then there was a Borden's Cone Shop on one end, and the Sara Lee Bakery on the other side, and the restaurant was pretty cool. We served a lot, and we served sundaes from the cone shop, from the ice cream shop in the restaurant. So one of the things that Ed and I did, besides serving cones to thousands of people every day, we served up sundaes for the patrons in the restaurant, and I became somewhat proficient at making ice cream sundaes, and the shakes and things like that. I tell you what, it's a messy job, and at the end of the night, when you've been sticking your arms in all these 5-gallon drums of ice cream, you get it all over yourself, and you constantly have to wash the ice cream off. It's. I tell you what, after doing that for a little while, I couldn't eat ice cream for the longest time. It was years that I could not eat any ice cream. It took me a while to kind of get over that, because just doing that so much every day, is just the smell of ice cream just didn't really appeal to me for a long time. I love ice cream, and I can eat it now, but wow, for a while there, it was a little rough. And Ed can tell you, the first couple of weeks that I worked there, and I spent like a week training in the Magic Kingdom on Mainstream. They had a board and cone shop there as well. And all I did was sit on the back end and just scoop ice cream cones. I just scoop ice cream cones and put them on this little kind of round ice cream holder. They'd scoop, put it up there, scoop, put it up. That's all I did for 8 hours. And I would go home at night, and it would be very, very difficult to sleep, because I'd go home at night and I'd close my eyes. And when I closed my eyes, all I could see was the ice cream, scooping the ice cream cones. And it's like counting sheep. It's like counting the ice cream cones going up. The first week it got better after a while. I kind of got over it, but the first week was just this monotonous scooping the ice cream and setting up on this little wheel, this holder that held all the ice cream cones, so the people on the other side of the register could grab the cones and serve them to the guests. And that's all I did for the first week, and it was it got old real fast. Anyway, I digress, because that's what I do on this show. I go off on these tangents. Here is to National Sunday Day. I'll drink to that. Yep. Stories. I got a lot of stories of working at Disney back in the day. That was a long time ago. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Oh, yes, today is Veterans Day, and I want to give a shout out to all the veterans, all those who served. And, I didn't really have that prepared, to be honest, but I should. Where is my Veterans Day thing here? I had it up here before. I don't know what I did with it. It's somewhere here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. No, that's not it either. Oh, goodness. I was not prepared, was I? Look, let me just give a shout out to all of the veterans on Veterans Day. Here it is. All right. To Veterans Day. and for all those who served, all those who are still with us and those who are no longer with us, who gave the ultimate sacrifice to serve and protect. Here's to all of you on Veterans Day who served. Thank you. Thank you very much for your service. It is much, much appreciated. Here's to Veterans Day. I'll drink to that. Again, to Veterans Day, and to veterans out there who have served and who are serving now, thank you for your service. And feel free to clip that, by the way, those of you on Twitch. All right. Well, let's see. What else do we have for national days? Well, let's show some national days for tomorrow. There aren't really that many national days for today. And I feel like toasting. This is a nice light wine, and this is a good wine for toasting, and it's only 12% ABV, so I should be okay for a while. November 12th, 2023, which will be today in another hour and 8 minutes Eastern Time. It's World Pneumonia Day. It's a matter of being aware of of pneumonia and how serious of an illness that is. And anyway, it's also National French Dip Day. November 12th is National French Dip Day. I've had French dip. You like French dip? It's, I like French dip, and you got the odd juice that you dip it in. The thing is that there are some places that I've had the French dip that it didn't really sit well with me afterwards, if you know what I mean. And there are other places where it was really, really good, and I had no issues with it. So I think it kind of depends on how it was prepared. But here is to National French Dip Day. I do like French dip. I'll drink to that. I think part of it with French dip is that you have the, what else comes with a French dip that sometimes you use? The horseradish sauce, right? Sometimes some horseradish. That might have something to do with it for me. It's also National Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. National Chicken Soup for the Soul. Okay, I'll drink to that. Why not? I like chicken soup. It's good for my soul. It's good for my stomach. And today is, I just want to let everybody know that today is National Pizza with the Works, except Anchovies Day. Did I get a drum roll out of that? I didn't hear my drum roll. Oh. National Pizza with the Works Day. It's National Pizza with the Works except Anchovies Day. That's the whole title of it, November 12th. So in honor of National Pizza with the Works except Anchovies Day, my lovely wife, she has prepared a pizza with the works and without anchovies. And let me show you another angle from this if I can, because that is what she worked on today. It's this, a nice looking pizza, and next to it is a cocktail. It's supposed to be a margarita that she has, that she made. All of this is edible, by the way. This is 100% edible except for the little beer glass that's there, apparently. So let's go back to camera 3 and let's try a little bit of, I don't think this is going to go that well with the, it's edible though. It's completely edible. It's really nice. Let me see it. She made this especially for the show, by the way. That's a little cold now. She has little tiny pepperonis, little tiny black olives, and little tiny beef things, and looks like tomatoes. Really, the peppers, I think, and cheese. Actually, pretty good. I'll use the wine to wash it down with, but I think it really needs a red wine. No, it's actually pretty good. To my lovely wife, Chi, once again, who puts in a lot of extra time and effort work into making her nice food presentations. I want to give her a nice big round of applause. Thank you very much to my lovely wife, Chi. It's much, much appreciated. All right, so I guess that does it for the national days. Once again, this is what we're drinking. We're drinking the Villa Sonia. Sorry, it's not Sophia, it's Sonia. Villa Sonia Pinot Grigio, Venezia. This is a product of Italy. It's a 2022. And I'm liking this wine a lot. And I'm really getting more of the grapefruit out of it. And actually the honey is still there too. I like that. Kind of grapefruit, honey. Still don't taste any pear though. I don't know where they're getting that from, but grapefruit and honey and maybe a little bit of lemon actually. Yeah, maybe it's just a touch of lemon. All right, that's not bad. Very nice, pleasant wine. I'm surprised. $6 at Trader Joe's. I'm actually happy with this wine. I think it's a pretty good purchase so far. Okay, so what else we got here? Oh yes, it's time for some dad jokes. I think it's time for some dad jokes. So get your dad jokes ready if you want to participate. In the meantime, I have some dad jokes to share with you. And I picked them up. These are some new dad jokes as opposed to the old dad jokes. By the way, I did tell you, I had a rough week. And it was a lot going on. Just a lot going on this week. And, at some point, I was feeling a little down about it. And my wife told me at some point, I was just saying, I'm a little depressed about some of the things going on this week. And she said, she told me something that kind of, I think it was intended to lift my spirits a little bit. I don't know if it really helped. But she said it could be worse. You could be stuck in a hole filled with water. I know she means well. Where's my rim shot? There we go. That kind of reminds me. Reminds me about a joke about desserts and deserts, I should say, and not everyone gets jokes about deserts. They're dry humor. Yeah. I was outdoors today walking the dog, and the dog seemed to enjoy it. I love going outdoors. It is much easier than going out windows, don't you think? So, the thing is, I've been wanting to get my bike out to ride my bike around, but I couldn't ride my bike around today because the tire was flat. Both the tires were flat. I got to go in there and fix the tires, pump up the tires. But I have the bicycle pump that we had was broken, and I was going to use the pump that I used to add tire to the car. I just didn't get around to it. I had other things going on. The thing is about these bicycle pumps, some of these things are really cheap. They used to be made better than they are today, but now they're all just like plastic. And I think by today's standards, the bicycle pumps are cheap, but they just don't work as well as they used to overall. I guess they just haven't kept up with inflation. Yeah. Let's tell some dad jokes. As if we haven't started yet. By the way, I used to run a dating service for chickens. but I was struggling to make ends meet. If a pig loses its voice, does it become disgruntled? I'll tell you what, want to hear a joke about paper? Never mind, it's terrible.
Oh, great.
Let me see if I... They don't get any better. Let me try something. You know, yeah. How do flat earthers travel on a plane? You're right. Let me see if I can find a good one here. I don't think I've got any good ones. Yeah, I was playing chess with my friend the other day, and he said, "Let's make this interesting." So we stopped playing chess.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I like that one. That was kind of funny. Someone complimented my parking today. They left a sweet note on my windshield that said, "Parking fine." I hate it when people say age is only a number. Age is clearly a word. I gotta find some good jokes in here. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. If you are feeling depressed, try drinking a gallon of water before you go to sleep. It'll give you a reason to get out of bed in the morning. It wasn't that funny. Come on. It was not that funny. It really wasn't. Okay. Let's see. I can't tell that one. That's dated. Why did the Invisible Man turn down a job offer? He couldn't see himself doing it. When I die, I want to be cremated. It's my last chance to have a smoking hot body. I don't have anything for that. I really don't. Well, I didn't want to believe that my dad was stealing from his job as a traffic cop, but when I got home, all the signs were there. I just spent $300 on a limo and learned it doesn't come with a driver. I can't believe I have nothing to show for it. Give it a second. It'll sink in. Yeah. At the job interview, they asked me, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Okay. That was not the whole joke, by the way. All right. There's got to be a good joke in this list somewhere. Where Sid says good one. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but okay. Lance isn't a common name in these days, but in medieval times, they were called Lance a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Medieval times. It must be the wine talking. I don't know. It's one of these, a couple of these I don't really get. By the way, you know that swords never go obsolete. They're cutting edge technology. Really. I asked the IT guy, how do you make a motherboard? He said, I tell her about my job.
No.
That's my own mom, by the way. That was my mother. Yeah. My dad was born. Oh no. My dad was born a conjoined twin, but separated at birth. So I have an uncle once removed. Okay, that one's kind of funny. Oh boy. I went to a smoke shop only to discover it's been replaced by an apparel store. Clothes, but not cigar. I said that. I messed that up. I really messed that up, didn't I? I messed that up. Why should you never brush your teeth with your left hand? Because a toothbrush works better. I'll go with that one. My. Where are all the good jokes on here? What do you call a woman that takes care of owls? A hootenanny. Sorry, that was bad. I'll show myself out now. Which brand of laptop has the nicest voice? Adele. Adele. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay, now here's some statistics. As I understand it, in Jamaica, you can get a steak and kidney pie for $1.75. In Trinidad, you can get 2 steak and kidney pies for $3, while in Antigua, chicken and mushroom pie are only $1 each. In the Bahamas, apple pies and cherry pies are often sold for $2 each, or 2 for $3.25. And those are the pie rates of the Caribbean. Okay. Let's see if anyone else has any better jokes. Where is Sid? I like yours. Okay. Where Sid says, singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera. That's a good one. I like that. Well, Ed usually has, Ed's not in the chats tonight, but he usually has some good ones. So let me check the chats, by the way. Make sure we're good here. All right. Also, I have a couple more here. Let me see. What else do I have here? You know, the guy who invented the Ferris wheel never met the guy who invented the merry-go-round, and that's a fact. The guy who invented the Ferris wheel and the guy who invented the merry-go-round, that must be the wine. The guy who invented the Ferris wheel and the guy who invented the merry-go-round never met in real life. That's because they traveled in different circles. I don't have anything for that either.
Good evening.
All right. Now, my friend was up there cleaning his gutters out the other day. He was on his stepladder, and he was showing me his tool shed, and he pointed to this other ladder, and he goes, "That's my stepladder," he said. I never knew my real ladder. They're getting worse. What do you call a Frenchman wearing sandals? A Philippe flop. I'm just gonna. I don't know. You know, there's a new Marvel movie that's coming out. You know, the Marvels. There's a new Marvel movie coming out, and there's been a lot of controversy around that in different ways. You know, how whether the Marvel movies are getting better or worse or whatever. But you know, I really don't get some of this at all. First of all, I don't get why Marvel doesn't use the Hulk to advertise more. He's basically one big banner. Yeah, I kind of thought I'd get that reaction too. What's the difference between a well-dressed man on a unicycle and a poorly dressed man on a bicycle? Attire. A couple of these I don't even get very much. They're kind of that dumb. My hotel tried to charge me $10 extra for air conditioning. That wasn't cool.
Oh, great.
Did you know? No, I'm not going to read that one. Oh, boy. No, I'm not going to read that one either. Well, you know, I can't read that one because I'm married. I found... Maybe I'm laughing because of the wine. I found a wooden shoe in my toilet today. It was clogged. Yeah. By the way, whoever stole my copy of Microsoft Office, I will find you. You have my word. I'm going to read one more and then I think we're done. It's getting worse. It's going downhill fast. But by the way, what's blue and not very heavy? Light blue. I don't have anything for that either. I think that we're done here unless anybody else has any other jokes. I've got a bunch of them, but some of them aren't even worth reading. Whereas Sid says, why don't eggs tell jokes? because they crack each other up. I like that one. That one gets a rim shot. That's a good one. I like that. We'll read two more. Whatever. Let's see. Let's read two more. Okay. I read that one already. Okay. What did one monocle say to the other monocle? Let's get together and make a spectacle of ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
What's green and has wheels? Grass. I lied about the wheels. Well. Let's see. Let's read one more. Okay, let me read this one again because I messed up that joke earlier. Okay, at the job interview, they asked me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I told him, I think we'll still be using mirrors in 5 years. And I so messed it up. Okay. Where do dads store their dad jokes? In a database.
Oh, you naughty boy!
Oh, goodness. I don't know. Should I read one more? No. Okay. Yeah, we'll read one more. What's one I haven't read yet? Well, so those are old jokes. I said I was gonna wear. I was gonna. Never. I'm not reading that either. I'm not reading that either. This is a family-friendly show, folks. Not every dad joke is family-friendly. You know what I mean? Of all the inventions of the last 100 years, the dry erase board has to be the most remarkable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think we're done with the dad jokes, right? Well, here's one more. What do you call a line of men waiting to get haircuts? A barbecue.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wow, that's a good one.
And with that, I think we're done with the dad jokes tonight. Unless anyone else has any better ones to tell. Where Sid says, if you would really like a laugh or two, we can watch a quick snippet of Russell Peter, Notorious Tour. Trust me, you won't regret. Russell Peter, Notorious Tour. I have to check that out. I appreciate the tip on that. Let me look up Russell Peter for a minute. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll look it up after the show. I'll make sure it's. I don't want to overdo my bandwidth here tonight. I think I've overdone my welcome for the night, actually. It's about time to close it up. Let me give you a final review of this wine. My final review of the wine. I like it. There you go. No, this is what we were drinking tonight. We were drinking the Villa Sonia Pinot Grigio Venezia. This is a 2022 wine, excuse me. It is an Italian Pinot Gris, and it is actually quite good. I like it, and it's getting better. And as you know, you don't really know what a wine is like until you get down into the bottle. And I think I'm fairly down into the bottle now. It's about not quite halfway, but there. It's 12% ABV, so it's not too bad. But I am tasting, it's very light-bodied. As you can tell, it's a very light-bodied wine. It's also an very, very easy drinking wine. This is a wine you can drink by itself, absolutely. And I said that at the very beginning, but I mean that this is a wine that you can, that's really, really easy to drink. This is a good autumn wine, and as a matter of fact, I think this is a good wine to have as we get close to December, and we're still in autumn for a little while longer. But as we get close to the holidays, I kind of like this wine. And as a matter of fact, I think this might be a nice wine to pair with a good Thanksgiving dinner, because a lot of people on Thanksgiving traditionally will have things like the turkey. We usually have a smoked turkey, which actually I like to have a Pinot Noir with that. Not always, but sometimes. But a Chardonnay would actually go good with a smoked turkey. As a matter of fact, where Sid, you were mentioning Chardonnays earlier, that's another decent choice to go with a turkey on Thanksgiving. In fact, the buttery aspects of some Chardonnays work really, really well with a lot of the foods that are served, traditionally served, I should say, at a turkey dinner for Thanksgiving. So that works pretty well. But I think this Pinot Gris would work as well. And so I recommend this. I would say $6 at Trader Joe's. Pick up a bottle of it, and you might like it if you like white wines. Now, once again, I prefer dry reds, but I was pleasantly surprised and impressed with this one. This is actually pretty good, especially for the price. And Trader Joe's, they have a pretty good selection of wines. I have seldom been disappointed by the wines that Trader Joe's sells. Now, some of them I haven't been ecstatic about. There have been a few that have been kind of okay, and there's some that I really, really like. This one is one that I think I really like. Now, the Rosetta came from Trader Joe's. That was a rosé, actually, not really a white wine, but a rosé, and I showed that earlier on the show. And then the other wine that came from Trader Joe's that I didn't care for as much, that I did show, that was the one we reviewed last week. That was an exception, but that's for the most part, I kind of like a lot of the wines that they have there. Total Wine, the selection at Total Wine is such that I haven't been there for a little while because the selection is so vast that and they do have some good wines, but they also have some wines that I really don't care for that much. The prices are pretty decent, but I will say this. I will say that Total Wine has probably the largest selection of craft beers, and I love a really good craft beer, and they have a huge selection of craft beers, some that are, a lot of them that are local, that are from local breweries. And I live in North Carolina, so we have a lot of great local breweries in the North Carolina area, particularly up in the mountain areas that I really like. Old Mecklenburg Brewery is one that's in this general area, and up in the mountains, you've got there are a few of them up there that are good. There's some nice wineries up there in that region too. Some that I haven't visited yet that I'd like to try out. But overall, I've been pretty happy with the Trader Joe's wines for the most part. And Where Sid says, good night, Rick. It was a good episode. Thank you for being here, Where Sid. I really, really appreciate it. By the way, do you have a copy of this, the official Drink with Rick wine tasting notebook? I'll tell you what, these sell for Amazon for $8.99, but I'd like to send you one for free if I can. I just send you one. If you send me, and don't worry, it's safe with me. If you just send me a shipping address where I can ship it to you, just a shipping address. It's going to be a P.O. box. It's fine because I just sent it USPS. Just send it to rick@civilianmedia.com. Send me a shipping address, and I'll send you a copy of the Drink with Rick, the official Drink with Rick wine tasting notebook, absolutely free. It's just for you, and I appreciate you being here tonight in the chats with us and joining in the show. And all those who are watching on Twitch and everywhere else who are not in, you can still jump in. Yeah, it's the end of the show, but you still jump in and say hi. Anyway, my final review of the wine, I like it and I recommend it. that is my final review. And yeah, like some grapefruit. I'm still tasting the grapefruit in here. And it's a very nice dry. It's a dry wine. So if you don't like dry whites, you prefer the sweet ones, this might not be the wine for you, but it is a very good one, and I recommend it. Yeah, give it a try. Give it a try. Next week on the show, once again, next week, join us for the premiere of Space Apes from Ice Planet Alpha. This was a Super 8 film that I made back in 1992 with a friend of mine as filmmakers. We made this film. We showed it to our local film club. We did have a big showing, and this was in Orlando in 1992. And then we kind of shelved it. And it's been waiting around for quite a long time. I finally got around to digitizing it and restoring it and putting it out there in an electronic format. So now I have it. It's restored, and we're going to show it after 31 years. This is an original film that we made on Super 8. It's a feature film, the only one and only feature film that we ever made on Super 8mm, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's a comedy, of course. It's about everything I did always turned into a comedy, but we're going to show it in its entirety during this show next week, next Saturday night. So that's November 18th. And the world premiere of Space Apes from Ice Planet Alpha across the internet is going to be on Thanksgiving Day. So you get a chance to see it first on the Saturday Night Winestream next week, Saturday, November 18th, 2023. Space Apes from Ice Planet Alpha. So I hope you join me for that. Here's a photo of the title. Yes, originally on Super 8mm. Space Apes from Ice Planet Alpha. Please join me for that. Join in. We may give away a couple things, give away a couple prizes. So please join in and be here for that. Space Apes from Ice Planet Alpha. All right. So that's what I have for tonight. Once again, I want to thank Where's Sid for being here in the chat, and everyone else who was in the chat who was watching. Now we had folks watching here that just didn't join in the chat, but that's fine. It's okay. We have a lot of folks that watch passively, sometimes on their smart TVs and that sort of thing. They can't really get to the chat, but they still enjoy the show. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. No problem, Where's Sid? You're welcome for the gift. I'm happy to send it off to you. And I really, really appreciate you being here. I want to bring out one more celebrity before we close the show, and I think those of you who have been watching the show for a long time know exactly who it is, and it is none other than Roadkill Bill, the official mascot of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Winestream. And there's no one out there, I think, that doesn't know what his message is. Because he's Roadkill Bill. And his message is, please do not drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your office, your hotel room, your dwelling, wherever it is. If you have to go somewhere, call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab, call a friend who hasn't been drinking, has a valid driver's license, and you feel comfortable driving you home to do so. Otherwise, please stay put. It's not worth it. Don't put yourself at risk. Don't put others at risk. Please do not drink and drive. Also, please don't text and drive, because that's also very dangerous. Right, Bill? Yeah, right. Because I want you to have a great week. But most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Winestream, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.